the New York Mets are now 14-14 on the season, guys. Luis Severino pitched a gem last night. And, the Mets, honestly, lifeless. Again, lifeless. This is All Things Mets, where you get your latest Mets media. Everything you know about the Mets on the channel. Definitely do me a favor, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get into today's video. And that is going to be on the Mets offense in Citi Field. And lifeless. Honestly, lifeless. The offense in Citi Field, I understand that it is a big ballpark. I understand that it is a pitcher's ballpark. But honestly, for the New York Mets, you're supposed to have home field advantage when you're in your home stadium. But it doesn't feel that way with the New York Mets. It really doesn't feel that way because this offense is just lifeless when it comes to this stadium. And I really feel, honestly, there's always the story. It's always been this way, for years now. The Mets, they just can't hit. They just can't hit. The pitching is good, and they just can't hit. We've had guys like Jacob deGrom. We've had guys, like Zach Wheeler, put off great performances, and still, the Mets get, no hits for them. And no run support. Where's the run support for Severino last night? Severino pitched amazing last night. Had one of his best starts of the season. Definitely, 6 no-hit innings. Look, Severino is the guy that, he's looking like the guy that David Stearns thought he was going to be. But honestly, this video is about this offense. You have JD Martinez. You have Pete Alonso. You have, Francisco Lindor. You have Jeff McNeil. You have Tyrone Taylor. You got this offense. You got Mark Vientos even in the lineup as well. It's not like you don't. But what is going on with this offense? Because this offense is horrible. This offense we just can't hit in our home ballpark. In Citi Field, the Mets just can't hit. And it sucks. It honestly sucks. And honestly, having Mark Vientos in the lineup, good to have him in the lineup. But when you look at what's going on with this offense, Pete Alonso is freaking horrible. Pete Alonso, yes, he has home runs, but this guy is not clutch. This guy, has an off night. He has maybe a big night one night and then an off night the next 3 nights or 2 nights. This guy, Pete Alonso, this core, Nimmo, Alonso, McNeil, you know what I'm saying? Those guys, Lindor, those guys don't hit. Those guys don't hit. And yes, it's early. We're going into the May now. Hopefully, the Mets can start, getting the offense ready. And to be fair to the Mets, the offense, they haven't been with JD Martinez for too long. So we don't know exactly how this offense is really going to be in Citi Field. But honestly, I'm not liking what I'm seeing. Lindor looks horrible at the plate. Lindor looks so bad at the plate. And this guy Lindor, you got to consider maybe batting Lindor 7th, 6th, somewhere in this lineup that isn't second. When Marte comes back, today, to be honest, the offense, guys, it has to be better. It has to be better. I don't care. Whatever you got to do. You got to steal bases. You got to be aggressive. You got to do hit and runs. Whatever you can do. There was a situation where Tyrone Taylor was batting. Jeff McNeil was at first. It was like 1 out. I personally thought they should have hit and run because Tyrone Taylor is a guy that can hit the ball, makes contact, and Jeff McNeil maybe could steal a base, or he can, if it's a hit and then it's a hit and run, he could be first and third. That type of stuff, I think the Mets offense needs to do. And because this offense is just not good. It's just not good. Lindor, Nimmo, McNeil, Alonso, the same old core that doesn't work. This core does not work. And it's horrible to say, but it's just not working. It's not working. Alonso, it sucks. Alonso sucks, guys. He's not clutch. He could barely field. He's just, look, I like Alonso a lot, but this guy is just not clutch. And I don't know what the big issue is. He just can't get consistent. He's not a consistent hitter. And I think Pete Alonso can be a consistent hitter. He wants to hit for power. This is his last season, as a Met for now, or going into free agency. So he wants to hit for power. I'm sure he wants to hit 45 home runs, 50 home runs, but come on. And you saw last night Nimmo hit a home run, to lead off the game, and that was good to see. It was good to see. But honestly, Nimmo hasn't been that good either. I think he's going to come around. But Jeff McNeil, let's talk about Jeff McNeil. Jeff McNeil has been horrible. Jeff McNeil, you can see that he is trying to hit the ball in the air. When Jeff McNeil hits the ball in the air, that is not good for Jeff McNeil. It is not good for Jeff McNeil. And Jeff McNeil is a guy that can hit line drives, hit, gap to gap, hits, that type of stuff. Maybe a bloop single. That is the Jeff McNeil that we know. That is the 2022 batting champion, Jeff McNeil. Not this McNeil. He's literally trying to hit the ball in the air. And man, Lindor, let's talk about a little bit about Lindor. Lindor, what is going on with Lindor? I get it's early. Okay, we know he has early slumps. I understand. But this is just awful. This is awful. Lindor looks awful at the plate. Completely awful at the plate. He's chasing balls. He's trying to pull the ball. He's trying to, he's not doing what he needs to do to get out of a slump. Because a guy like Lindor, I think he's a better right-handed hitter than left-handed. That's just me. And I know a lot of people think that as well. But what is going on with this offense? JD Martinez, you saw last night, he got a hit to start his day. Mark Vientos had some good at-bats. But at the end of the day, the Mets offense was lifeless. It was lifeless, guys. The Mets offense just in Citi Field, they just can't hit. I don't know what it is. They just can't put together runs in their home ballpark. And yes, it is a big ballpark. I understand that. But you saw last night when Edwin Diaz was pitching to Christopher Morel, it wasn't the best decision to go after Morel, with that fastball like Edwin Diaz did. Maybe he should have walked him. Maybe he should have made him chase. But Severino had a really great game. Great game, Severino. But the Mets offense, if they would have scored even 2 more runs or 1 more run, they would have won the game. I really personally feel that, this offense, I was seeing it last night when we were streaming. I was like, come on, like we need more runs. We need more run support for Severino because that is the problem with this team. They just can't give good pitching run support. I just don't get why the Mets just can't hit in their home ballpark. And, I'm going to the game today. Hopefully they win today. Hopefully the offense wakes up when I'm at the game. But, and look out for a vlog today as well. I'm going to be vlogging. But just in general, this is just an awful look for the New York Mets. Now they're 14-14 on the season. Now, literally they might lose 500, And it sucks to see. It sucks to see because you got, Severino who's pitching a gem, and then you got Edwin Diaz, who's one of the best closers, comes into a tie game. I mean, it sucks. It sucks. Honestly, it sucks because what is going on with this offense, man? I just don't get it. And I think personally, Vientos, Beatty, those guys, having them in the fold is good to see. Let's look here actually what the Mets did, for their move, because this is just let's see what they did here. Did they send down Mark Vientos? See here. Yep, Mark Vientos is heading back to the minors, guys. So Mark Vientos is heading back to the minors. We kind of figured that was going to happen. And it sucks for the Mets. It sucks for Mark Vientos that he, is back in the minors. But the Mets need a utility guy like Joey Wendell. Unfortunately, I really don't like Joey Wendell. I think he's horrible. And, but, this lineup, with Beatty, those guys, we need this lineup to pick it up. This offense has to pick it up. And Marte has been good, and I'm happy he's going to be back today. But honestly, this lineup, if you have to put Lindor in the 7th spot or put him somewhere that, in the bottom of the order, whatever you need to do to make this team better. And it might be a hard decision, but Francisco Lindor is getting paid $341 million to bat 200? Come on. I don't know what's going on with this team, but I personally feel that, okay, yes, they started 0-5. Yes, they got hot. They started winning a lot of games against good teams. They got good pitching, good hitting. And, that was mostly on the road. They got a couple of hits in their home. They got a couple of wins in their home ballpark. But honestly, we need this offense to wake up. This offense has to wake up. And how do you do that? I think personally, you push the pedal. You push the pedal to the, you push the pedal to the metal, or whatever you want to call it. I think you got to steal bases. You got to do hit and runs. You got to, make something of nothing, because literally the New York Mets offense in their home ballpark is just not good. It's just not good. And you can't expect Severino to be amazing. You can't expect Sean Manaea to be amazing every single night. You can't expect Quintana to have an amazing performance. The pitching, you can't really, rely on if you score one run. Like, come on. Like, that's not going to get you the win. So I think personally, the Mets got to do something about this offense, whether it is to put Lindor in the bottom of the order and make him, hopefully have him a wake-up call for something for like Lindor, because Lindor's a guy that right now, yes, he's struggling. Right now, he knows he's struggling. He's not going to let that go for, he's not going to let that come to his defense. But honestly, with what's going on with Lindor, you got to consider putting him in the bottom of the order, because he hasn't been good. And then when you're making a rally and you're doing something like that and Lindor pops it up or hits you a ground ball to first base and pulls the ball, rolls it over, So I think personally Lindor has to be in a different spot. I think Alonso looked awful last night, man. Alonso's probably one of the most frustrating hitters to watch when it comes to the Mets, because that he is so talented. That he can go the other way, hit a base hit a home run, whatever. That he is a good hitter. It. I know it. It's like and then he does, he hit like 3 ground balls yesterday. Plain and simple, guys, the Mets have to wake up. The offense has to wake up. They got to do something different. And if you got to steal bases, if you got to do hit and runs, if you got to, do different things to score runs, if you got to run around second, and first and nobody out, maybe you bunt, get the guy over to second and third, and now you got one out. Whatever you need to do to score runs, do it. Because first of all, this year, we know the pitching has been okay. It hasn't been as spectacular. Severino has been good. Hauser has been horrible. Don't get me started on Hauser. I can't wait for Hauser to be off this team. I hate Adrian Hauser right now. I honestly hate him. Because his performance has not been good. It has not been good. And when it comes down to the pitching, Sean Manaea has been pretty okay. Like I said, Adrian Hauser has been horrible. Severino has been good. Quintana has been shaky. Had a good start in his last start. And then you got, Jose Budo, who hasn't been that bad, hasn't been amazing, but he, in his last previous starts, it was against the Dodgers. So, that was a tough start. But honestly, Jose Budo, the pitching rotation, that is not the Mets' best concern. It is the offense. We know what we're going to get from the pitching. We know that the Mets pitching isn't going to be great, but they're going to give them a chance to win the game. Maybe they'll allow 3 runs, 4 runs, 2 runs, whatever it is. But the Mets offense has to be greater than it's ever been if they really want to be a 500 team and on. If they want to be over 500. Honestly, this is what the Mets need to do. So the Mets got to do something with this offense. The Mets got to do something. And look, Carlos Mendoza. If Carlos Mendoza has to get people to steal bases, he get hit and run situations, bunt guys over when you got less than 1 out and guys on second and first. Whatever you need to do to score runs, do it. I think you should definitely take advantage of that situation. But when it comes to the Mets, the offense has just not been good. It just hasn't been good. And hopefully JD Martinez can help this offense out and maybe help the hitters like Pete Alonso, maybe help Lindor. It's a tough one because he's coming into a new team, but he is a good hitter. JD Martinez knows how to hit. He knows how to hit, guys. And, guys like Pete Alonso, Lindor, McNeil, Nimmo, this core of those 4, it's like they don't hit. They don't do nothing, especially in their home ballpark. So I think personally the Mets have to do something different, man. The Mets got to do something different. And, honestly, they got to do something different. They got to really make some changes to this lineup. I think Lindor really needs a wake-up call because I think he's comfortable right now. I think Lindor knows that he's struggling. He doesn't like struggling, but he's comfortable. It's not like you could tell that he's comfortable. Okay? But if you need to put him in a 7th spot, 8th spot, whatever you need to do with Lindor to give him a wake-up call, give him a wake-up call. I don't care if you're getting paid $341 million. You need to do something for this team. You need to, offensively, you need to show up. Okay? And he's a slow start guy. We know that he's a slow start guy. The second half is usually better for Francisco Lindor because he's a hitter that likes the weather hot, and for some he's just a second half better hitter, But we need to see more from Lindor, more from Alonso, more from McNeil. McNeil is so frustrating to watch. Well, guys, if you enjoyed this rant and you enjoyed this video, let me know. What do you guys think about it? I just ranted. I just wanted to say some things. And, I just made this whole big rant. And hopefully you guys enjoyed it. At the end of the day, I think that the Mets have to, change their mindset to win more games. They got to do different things. Like I said, so let me know what you guys think. What do you guys think that the Mets should do right now? Do you guys think that the Mets should shake up this offense, this lineup? Because I think it does need a shakeup, especially with Francisco Lindor and Jeff McNeil. And yeah, man, that is going to be the video. If you enjoyed the video, definitely do me a favor, leave a like, comment, subscribe. This is All Things Mets. You're your Ladies Mets Media. And yeah, guys, I just ranted. I just wanted to say some thoughts about the Mets game yesterday and what I felt about the Mets in general. And yeah, I'm going to today's game, so look out for a vlog today. I love you guys so much. I appreciate you guys. LFGM for life. Hopefully the Mets win today and the offense shows up. I'm out of here. Have a good one.